Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We are
Hi,
back
everybody.
for our second bingo of the day, and it's me, Sandy, again. We're very excited to have David. I can do that one.
Yeah,
right?
I can do that.
Excited to have David here. So we were looking at some of the comments. We've got people from lots of places, it looked like. So that's exciting.
That
A couple
is.
people were here before. A couple people are new.
Well, since we're talking about the U.S. Governor's Project, so everybody wants to put what state they're from, if you are in the United States, or what state would be your favorite state if you're over in the United States but not living here. That will give David a hint of who to contact for help. So, David, tell us a little
I
bit.
find a lot of people are from numerous states too. That's fine.
Tell us a little bit about the project.
Okay, well, the Governor's Project is something that's been part of WikiTree for several years. I wasn't overly familiar with it until recently when I came across the free space page and saw that it had been dormant for a while. The best I can tell, it's probably been dormant officially for about 6 years based on the last updates that I've seen. So kind of on a whim, I decided to reopen it, update it, and post it on G2G to get some members to help me out and try to update all these governors from the 50 states plus the territories. And basically, it's an informal project. Anybody can join, and we have a number of tasks. Our primary goal is to get all of the governors connected. It looks like in the past they made a really good effort and probably got 80% of them connected, but that still leaves a whole lot of governors that need somehow to be figured out how they connect to the big family tree. But beyond that, we also want to get their profiles polished up. Let's say some of them have almost no or have no profile other than just their name and a couple dates. They all have profiles. Somebody in the past went through and made sure that everybody did have a profile, so that's a plus. But many of them don't have parents listed. They don't have spouses, children listed. They don't even have their terms of governorship listed on some of them. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Others have pretty elaborate. A number of our presidents were governors, so they've got full profiles for the most part.
For sure.
Now, anybody can jump in anywhere they want. It's just like any other profiles on WikiTree. Anybody can come in and contribute whatever they can to them. If you would like to participate a little more formally, you can drop us a note and tell us what state you want to work on, and we'll put you on our list and kind of designate you one state or another. We can have more than one person on a state, so that's not a problem. If you see that it's already taken, plenty of room for everybody. And it's so far been pretty successful. We've only been doing this since the first of the month, and we've connected. Last time I counted was about 15 governors have been connected. Nice. And a lot of them have had their profiles cleaned up significantly. And then we're also working on creating individual pages for each of the states. That's a long process because each state has about 50 governors, and that all has to be done manually. So we're only up to 5 states right now, but we hope to get an individual page for each state. And we're basing the order on when you sign up. So whoever signs up first, that's the first day we put on. And we've got about 5 up.
Oh, well, now I have to go sign up New Mexico then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, get in there and sign up, and we'll get a New Mexico page going. But once we got the templates up, it's going much faster. But we're putting up about a page every other day, so that's going okay.
You also gave a great tip. We shared it at the noon bingo. So for all those that are watching, and I know everybody's going to participate in next month's Connect-a-thon. The good news is, as Dave mentioned, a lot of these governors just have their profile in, not their parents, not their siblings, not their children, the children's spouses, anything like that. So a good place to start on the Connect-a-thon might be a governor in your state. And like you said, there's probably at least 50 governors in a state.
Yeah,
Some have more.
most states have about 50.
And then out of those, there are some that are fully profiled out with their siblings and parents and kids, but a lot of them aren't. So that could be a really cool way to participate in your project and the Connect-a-thon.
You know, a lot of rather obscure last names I'm finding, or even first names. We have one that we just completed was Xenophone Pindle is his name.
Wow.
Xenophone Pindle.
That is a name.
He was, I'm drawing a blank on which state he was from, but I believe it might have been Arkansas, or might have been Arkansas, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, he had an interesting, kind of a tragic ending. He was walking on a train trellis, fell, hit his head, was knocked unconscious, rolled off into a boiling pool of water, and then drowned in the water.
Oh my gosh.
That is an interesting way to go. Not a way I'd prefer.
But another thing I like about, I've been very active with the Notables Project in general. So this is kind of an offshoot of that. But I find it fascinating to learn about what the parents and the brothers and sisters and all the extended family did. They usually, if you've got somebody that's able to achieve a governorship, they come from a family of fairly successful people in whatever field they were. So you find a lot of interesting characters beyond the governor. And once you move past the governor, it's just like any other family. So you're dealing with all types of people. But that's fun. And the other thing, what I really enjoy for myself about the any of the Notables projects is that you can learn things that you can't necessarily learn from your own family, because your own family is going to have somewhat of a narrow trajectory. You might have two or three, but in my case, I have a lot of colonial New England ancestors. I've got some German and some Swedish ancestors, but I have very few family members from the South. I have a limited number of foreign countries that my family came from. So I can learn some skills and some strategies about general genealogy and research that I can't get from my own family. So by doing these different states, if there's a state, you mentioned in the beginning, if you're from a state, go ahead and put that down. But you might want to pick a state that you're not from, an area that's outside your normal region of study, and see what you can do and what you can learn about the records that they have available.
And it's really great for those that maybe are not living in the United States. If they are, like I said, curious, you just made a great point. They can learn a lot about a different area, and also research skills are different.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that helps as well. So what you said, you have how many states?
Well, currently we have 5 with their own pages. We have, I believe, 15 people, if I remember right, that have signed up for specific states. So those will be the 5 that we've done, and then the next 10. But that still leaves a lot of states that are unclaimed. And again, if somebody wants to jump in and maybe just work for a day, doesn't want to sign up for a particular state or anything, that's fine. Come on over to our page and click on one of the governors and see what you can do. Every little bit helps. And again, it's not just about connecting the governors, but when you connect the governor, you're connecting an entire family to the tree. So that ultimately helps all of us.
That's a win-win. Okay. Well, are you guys ready to play the first round of bingo?
Bring it on.
Let's go ahead and give everybody the link one more time. Give you guys a couple seconds to go ahead and bring that up. I'm going to bring up the screen. Oh, that's cool. So we've got some being at. What's interesting too is I've been kind of tiptoeing through the current governor's list that you have as well, and the ones that are on there that have a profile. It's interesting to learn about them in the current day as well, to see what they do. what they've done before they were governor. And you're right, most of the governors themselves have been very successful people before they ran.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, here's the first bingo word. We're going to have 2 games. This will be the first one. And diagonal, vertical, horizontal. There should not be a free space card or in the middle. It should be all words. And what you need to do if you win bingo, I'll do better at it this time than I did at noon. Go ahead and type bingo. And the first one that types bingo in the chat is the winner of a t-shirt or the very coveted mugs. In our projects, we covet the mugs. We love the mugs. Okay, so the first word is going to be United States. And you guys probably find this a trend. The next word is Maine. Maryland. And David, feel free, if you know for a fact you need volunteers, feel free to let us know as we go through. Massachusetts. Delaware. Idaho. Michigan. Wonder if anybody's close. Indiana. Wow, they're quiet. They're focused.
They are very focused.
Georgia. That's where I'm sitting.
Pam Fraley said she'd work on Kentucky.
There you go, David. You got 1 volunteer already.
Yeah.
Now, I bet Mohavelin would work on Arkansas. She probably already has a lot of the profiles there. Let's see, Alaska. Alabama. Oh, John needs 3. How many territories are there too? Has anybody picked up the territories yet?
You know, we haven't done the current U.S. territories, but a lot of the states were territories before they were states, and we are including the pre-statehood governors. We are not doing the colonial governors yet because those were mostly British citizens, and so they kind of are a bit of a different category. And there's a lot of them, so it just we're not ready to take that on yet. But for example, I'm working on Ohio right now, and we've got the governors of the Northwest Territory, which is what was there before Ohio became a state. So yeah, we are including the pre-statehood governors.
We've got Illinois. That is tricky, I will say, for the one I was working on, Georgia, because they do tend to number those and then carry the numbers over to the modern or to the current. Minnesota. Oh, I see Ron just needs 1 more. Iowa. Let's see. Not yet, Ron. We'll see. Minnesota. Wyoming. Oh, Mindy got bingo.
Woo!
Yay.
Hey.
What was it, Mindy? Was it Wyoming? Congrats, Mindy. I'm going to guess Mindy wants a mug. Oh, Luther and Stephen, you're so close. Mindy is fast.
So close.
Oh, Minnesota won it for. There we go. Congrats. Okay, let me bring up the next one. So, David, what is your biggest challenge besides volunteers? Finding volunteers for your project?
I would say it's just the sheer volume, the number of governors that we've got to sort through. We were saying so far, I'm finding that most states have somewhere around 50 governors. So when you add that all up, we haven't counted, and again, there's numerous ways that you can count governors, but I'm estimating that there's probably somewhere around 2,000 plus governors in the history of the country. So that's a lot of individuals, and just tracking them all down. The individual state pages have to be done manually. There's no computer program to do it. So it's just a time consuming. And that's not a problem. I enjoy it, but I'd like to have everything up right now for everybody to work on. And I know that there's some states that aren't going to get up there for quite some time, but and that's why we're prioritizing the ones that people are showing interest in. So if you've got an interest, let us know, and we'll get that up there before some of the others. But a lot of states have 2-year terms for the governor, or at least historically did.
Mm-hmm.
And if they've been around 200 years, that's a lot of 2-year terms.
That's a lot.
Many governors serve multiple terms, so that cuts it down, but still it gets up there. I'm working on Ohio right now, and they're on their 70th governor. So
wow.
That's a lot of names to not just type in, but then you got to go find their WikiTree IDs and get all that information in there.
And bio and connect. And I should point out too, I did bring it up because this is one of my favorite things of David's. I love this. I'll show you guys. Well, I did post the link to get your next bingo card if everybody wants to get your next bingo card. And while you're doing that, I want to let me add to my screen again to the stream. This is one of my favorite pages of WikiTree that you created, and it gives a good checklist of what makes that complete bio. So it includes not only the biography, but also the connections. It includes the categories and things like that a lot of times people just enter in a source and go. So I
actually created this for my own family tree as I was entering names. Once again, it's like I wanted to get everybody in all at once. And I thought, you got to kind of go slow and just do one at a time. And this kind of allowed me sort of a guideline to know when it's time to move on to the next person. I say, it's an essentially complete profile because you never fully complete anything in genealogy.
Yeah.
But if I've got all the boxes checked, then I can move on comfortably to the next person, and not feel like I've left something behind that I'm going to forget to go back and do. So, and then it applies, again, I created this just for my own purposes, for my own family tree, but it applies, to the governors. It applies to all of the other notables projects that we've worked on. It just, again, it goes beyond just, well, he's connected, so we can move on. And I think that's, what a lot of the focus sometimes is, oh, I got the person connected, so now I can, move on to the next person. Well, now we've got a person connected, but we have no information on them. We've got no biography. We've got no sources. We've got no family connections. And so it just kind of gives a well-rounded checklist for everything that, in an ideal profile. Some of them will never have some of the information, and that's fine too, but at least we try.
And what's great about this, if you think about with the U.S. governors and other projects as well. So if you add the cemetery category, then you are actually helping the cemeterists. And if you add the cities, the lowest level, or the county, the categories, then you're helping them as well. If they served in military or more, you're helping that project too. So I really love how the projects interconnect and are good citizens with each other.
Right.
Definitely.
That's really great. Okay, does everybody have their bingo card?
I do.
Yay. Okay, North Carolina. I know we have at least one person from North Carolina in the chat. And North Dakota. That's quite a big difference. South Carolina. You see, we're going through the Carolinas and the Dakotas.
I don't have any Carolinas.
No, how about Dakotas? Let's see, New York.
New York, I do have that one.
Oklahoma. If I could sing, I would sing.
That was one of our first states with a project page of its own, Oklahoma. I think that was number 2.
Oh, that's great. Somebody jumped on that.
Mm. Yeah, right now we've got Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Michigan, and West Virginia. Those were the first 5. And then Sandy's been working on the Georgia project. So. And I'm currently working on Ohio.
I bet Pennsylvania has a lot of governors. Rhode Island. Oh, John's got 3 again.
Rhode Island.
That's Utah.
Don't have Utah.
Missouri.
Don't have Missouri.
New Mexico.
Got New Mexico.
There we go. Yes, we were talking about this earlier. Anybody in chat have snow? We're curious earlier. I don't. The 3 of us don't, but
no.
Oregon. Oh, John, you're close. Tennessee. Now, I know we've got a couple people in chat that are currently sitting in Tennessee.
I've got 3.
Oh, it snowed last week in Kentucky. Washington. I keep waiting for that bingo to come up. West Virginia. I don't know if we have anybody sitting in West Virginia right now.
I've got lots of 3s.
Oh, we have a bingo. Steven. Was it West Virginia, Steven? Great job. Oh, Montana's covered. So great job, Steven. Okay. Now, what do the winners need to do to claim their prize?
You need to send me an email at eowyn@wikitree.com and just tell me that you want a bingo game today, and I will help you get something.
And there is from the store. It's really a lot of cool T-shirts and mugs to pick from, including the Friday Night Bingo. That's new to the store, so you could have your mug and play bingo with us every other Friday. Or it's Friday night, date night, and then we're the opposite Friday. And then one other thing I want to mention is if you have a particular project that you're curious about, interested in on WikiTree, and you'd like us to invite them as a guest, just let us know. And then, David, how do you prefer people to reach out to you? Do you prefer the G2G?
G2G works just fine if you can find our posting there. Or if you can email me directly, that's okay. The benefit of posting on G2G is it lets everybody know that you're participating, and you'll get feedback from other members as well. But either way is fine. And I also would like to say, if anybody is interested in starting a mini project like this, feel free to send a message out to me, and I can help you get set up. I really enjoy the little projects, and if people have ideas and they just don't know how to get started, I'm happy to give you some guidance on that.
That's fabulous. That's a great advice too. Don't be afraid. If you got an idea, probably somebody else is wishing that it was there too. So go ahead. Okay, guys.
I never know. We're good?
Oh, I agree. Like the video before you guys head out to your Friday night pizza. And see you in 2 weeks.
That's exactly what we're having for dinner tonight.
Okay, don't forget, Friday night, date night next Friday, and then we'll see you the following Friday. So bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.